All right, and we are back and ready to get into this match here. Those were some pretty, I was going to say harsh words, but there really weren't any words from Puck. But
not a lot said.
He put more than 30 seconds into preparing for that, for sure. But he usually, I mean, he does practice his trash talk quite well.
Winter?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes,
I know he stands in front of a mirror and talks. And, I mean,
I don't know about that.
Last year, I mean, Desro and Winter had some epic trash talk between each other, but because Desro practices trash talk too, they're both at least Master League trash talkers.
Indeed, and I think that's important for sure.
All right, both players are ready going into Coda for game number 1 of Puck versus Winter.
Yep.
A ZVP that may last longer than 5 seconds.
Perhaps. It should at least last longer than the ZVZ between Game Time and Spider Slayer.
That's so. I mean, every ZVZ we have not seen any long. We haven't seen any ZVZs that have gotten past Roaches. I don't think Roaches and Mutalisk is 10-15 minutes. Yeah,
not long.
They are quick games, but going into this, it is going to be on Coda in the upper right-hand corner. Our Protoss opponent wearing purple this morning, it is Puck.
In the upper left-hand corner, not talking about his inebriation, not getting a handshake, but wearing the red, it is Winter.
Hashtag Winter is coming. All right, so what are we expecting here, Galigation?
You know, it's hard to say. You know, Winter talks a big game, but I know that he's kind of feeling a little intimidated here, and rightly so. I mean, Puck has he even dropped a map? I don't even know if he's dropped a map.
I'm not sure. I would look, but that would mean I couldn't observe the game.
That's fair. I mean, he's been performing very well, and he seems to be...
Oh, Puck definitely dropped a map. He dropped one to Game Time.
Okay. So, but I mean, he's done very well throughout the tournament. There's been very little challenge here. He's been feeling very calm and very, you know, just excited about walking out of here with money.
Yep. Winter, although he, you know, he's been very vocal about his distaste for Protoss, and is saying that he's very confident playing against Zerg and against Terran. So that will, you know, that will definitely come into play here since he is playing a Protoss. Puck has featured in, I believe, every game so far this weekend, Blink Stalkers, so I can say with relative surety that there will be some Blink Stalker play here.
Yeah, it looks like Winter's going to be opening pretty standard, you know, getting that that expansion right away, and looks like he's going to be going for the double expand before pool.
Yeah, that's pretty wise. I mean, I think if he's going to really have his best advantage is going to be to try and defend the early pokes from Puck, and then try and just macro up as hard as he can. And, you know, also the news is the teams have been established for the Archon Mode tournament. Is going to be Spider Slayer, Spider Puck versus Wintertime.
Yes. That actually, Wintertime actually sounds kind of cool. All right.
Wow, that's actually really cool. I'm glad I came up with that.
Who knew that combining two names together could result in such awesome...
We don't really have a good name yet. Our names that we've come up with have been kind of lackluster. Wingation, I think, was one from a long time ago. Not great.
They don't really lend themselves to combining.
Although I will say that we had some pretty great Archon Mode games last night.
They were
after the tournament ended. Every single one was with carriers, and every single one of them we won.
Yeah, Swingnut likes his carriers. He shows a lot of bias towards them.
No remorse. So Winter's going to be poking up here into the main base of Puck with his Overlord to see not a whole lot. Extractor with some gas mined out of it.
And Puck scanning around with it. He's got a Zealot moving in and just kind of wandering around and not really taking a whole lot of shots just yet. He might try and pick off some of these gas.
I mean, we're at 5 minutes now. He does not yet have a queen, so that is going to be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, he's really trying to pick off any drones that he can.
Winter's, the weak drone was exposed there for just a second. Now, will he? Oh man, Winter's doing a good job microing these units here. Oh, he does get the drone, but does not lose any lings. So good micro there by Winter to save as many units as possible. That was definitely a good exchange for Winter. 100 minerals in the loss column for Puck. 50. Actually, yeah, 50 is the drone.
That is one fewer drone, though, and that, you know, in the early game makes a big difference.
Winter is now headed across the map with some slowlings, and Puck has not yet had the opportunity to wall off his natural expansion, though he's working at it as fast as he can. It's going to be plugging it off with this Stalker here, most likely once these lanes pop up. If he's watching, it's going to have to pay attention, as he does have a little bit of a hole there. Probe is going to come down and see the lings out here, and will get shut down here. Looks like maybe he's trying to go for a quicker third base, knowing that Winter has done the same. But not going to happen. Looks like he threw up a pylon there just in case to plug the hole, but knowing that the other scouting probe for Puck is going to be taken out as well. So Winter doing a really good job of shutting that down. Overlord here going to be zapped here with the lasers of this here Stalker.
5 lings finally do take down that probe from Puck, so the presence that is not Mothership Core on the map for Puck outside of his base is non-existent.
Looking at the vision of Puck, he really doesn't have a whole lot. No. And looking at the vision of I almost said Spider Slayer, Winter, he's got vision all over the place. So far this is actually looking really good for Winter. We have not seen any Twilight counts out of Puck, though. That is the unusual bit here. Oh. I'm going to go ahead and not pay attention to chat right now. Now Puck's going to be taking out the Destructible Vree here with the Mothership Core scouting around. It looks like right now Puck has just kind of got a 4-gate going on 2 bases, stacking up the resources to go into Blink here now with the Twilight Council coming down. And Puck wanting to expand to this 3rd base off to the left. Although Winter will see that with his Overlord. Yeah,
I mean, Winter's got some lings out here towards the front, but he really doesn't want to try and move in on that. Not really a whole lot he can get done. Oh, he is going to try and get in, but...
Oh, and he is going to make it. Oh, almost. Wow, that was... he did manage to take out all of the lings, but the force fields were haphazard at best.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't lose a sentry, which was at risk there. The one in front kind of got all its shield taken out, and I thought for sure that Winter was going to try and pull that.
Yeah, the story of this game so far is the Winter vision. Because he is all over the place.
He's really all over the map at the moment. I think that he's feeling pretty comfortable. It seems like Puck, you know, is starting to kind of get a little bit more comfortable, but is clearly feeling
He does have a good time to come up into the 3rd base here, but does not want to get trapped by those force fields, as he does want to keep those lings. Roach Warren is done, Hydralisk Den on the way, as well as Roach Speed and +1 ranged attack. Warp Gate here at the ramp for Puck that has not yet been opened up into a Warp Gate.
Blink is coming down, though, so your prediction was correct, playing a little bit safer with all the sentries in the early game, wanting to get that expansion, but...
Yeah. That is that ling was like hard squished between the pylon and the force field there.
Really couldn't move a whole lot.
Winter doing a good job here of working his way out of the map. He's got the creep spread going. He's going to probably be working into this for a 4th base here right out front. And he already has the creep established for it, taking down some Destructible Vree around the map to be able to move around easier. He does have good vision here on the potential 4th base of Puck. This is looking like it's going to be probably the longest macro game we've seen all tournament long. Both players, you can tell, are respecting the abilities of the other, not trying to do anything too crazy.
Well, it looks like Winter is starting to gear up here for an attack. 11 Hydralisks in production.
Those Zerglings look like they were a bit caught off guard there, and Puck did a good job of corralling them around. Now he's going to be moving out on the map, taking out some of these Overlords so that he can move around. Winter having vision on just about every angle that Puck would want to move over towards his base. So very, very comfortable to macro and be able to continue expanding as he has.
Winter's forces are swelling. Roaches being added into the mix, approaching 130 food, and Hydralisks moving forward to take out more destructible debris to get more mobility on the map.
Blink is now completed, and Hydra Speed is on the way. Roach is being produced, and as well as a Robo Bay here for Puck, so he's going to be going into Blink Tech with Robo. It was a strategy he used yesterday against Zerg, and it worked out really well. Let's see what it does here. Winter now taking his 4th base at the, I don't know what you would call this, but really the only 4th base location, so we'll just call it the 4th base place.
The fourth base place. All right. Observer kind of standing over the gathering point for Winter, so having an idea of what's moving around on the map at least, but doesn't really have a good idea of what the total number of his armies are at the moment as he's spread out a little bit, but can definitely get an idea of the composition, and Winter moving his forces forward now. Trying to defend that fourth base location. Puck moves up the ramp.
Army value is slightly higher here for Winter at this point, but not as Puck is going to try and move up and force issue on this fourth base. Nice force field to block off the reinforcements here of Winter, but he is still going to force them out, and nice surround here with the Hydralisk, but blocking off the ramp with force fields, so Winter will not be able to come down and reinforce his units, although the Stalker numbers are beginning to dwindle. Blink up into the Hydralisk. The Hydralisk numbers going down continuously, and continued force fields, but now the sentries are gone.
Yeah, almost all the sentries have depleted, and the one that remains does not have enough energy for any force fields.
That engagement definitely going in the favor of Winter, I believe. Now the supply 156 to 114. Puck going to have to reinforce here pretty quickly, but the thing is, he is going to be reinforcing with some beefy robo units and other things like that, so it will be good for him. He's putting up some cannons here at his fourth base as he begins to put that down. Really, again, keep harping on the name of the game here for Winter is Vision. He has known exactly what is going on in every part of this map.
Yeah, I mean, he's really gearing up here. His +2 missile attack is finishing up. He's continuing to add army units. He wants to make a move here, and he wants to make it soon.
Infestation Pit going down, going to be moving into the Hive Tech most likely here for Winter.
Yeah, I think he's aware that these Colossus are going to be coming in.
Yeah, Winter's definitely going to have to tech off of the Roach and Hydra army here once the Colossus come out. That is not going to go well for him. Winter being able to spot this Warp Prism coming in on the left side of the map. This is actually a pretty weak zone here up in his main. He's going to have to pull something back to defend this, but Puck not really coming through. 4 Zealots in this Warp Prism.
Yeah, now, 2 Hydralisks and are positioning themselves to try and intercept that.
They actually had plenty of time to react to that. Winter does have a clutch force here off the right side of Puck's fourth base, although there is quite an army there, so he's not really going to have much of an opportunity to break into that unless the army moves out.
But Winter has hit 200, and so if he's going to make a move now is definitely the time. Nothing in production for him currently.
Oh, Winter trying for an epic surround here, moving in with Hydras and Roaches here on the right side, but getting a little bit off timing here. No force fields down yet. Now they come down, separating the army of Winter. Blink to the right for the Stalkers, leaving the Colossus a bit exposed to the range of the Hydralisk on the left.
Not a whole lot happening to those Colossi, though, but they are dealing a lot of damage, and Winter's forces are melting here before the epic lasers.
Supply dwindling for Winter now, but is still in favor of him. The Colossus doing big time damage here. I have a feeling that once Winter ends up reinforcing, he's going to be, almost once he hits 200 there, he has the refresh this army, being kind of that mid-game Hydra Roach army against Colossus.
Hive now incoming, and he's resupplying both Roach and Hydra again, swelling that supply.
Puck actually feeling pretty good right now. Looking at the units, it is 70 drones to 69 probes, so 70 of that supply being economy on both sides.
Winter taking a moment to continue to boost his army numbers before trying another attack. Meantime, Puck is adding more robotics facilities to increase that production.
Looking at the army supply of both players, it is Winter with quite a lead, 106 to 64 in the army category. Worker supply pretty even on both sides, as we mentioned a few moments ago. So Winter does have a larger army, as is common with Zerg, but it is a little bit squishier as Puck is continuing to move into the higher tech army here, continuing to build more and more Colossus, getting his +3 attack though. But Hive is on its way for Puck, or for Winter,
and there come the Vipers as he's trying to have something to deal with those Colossi.
Yep, I think that's a good choice here. Both players continuing to just move into macro game here. Winter beginning to take a 5th base on the right side of the map. One thing is that Puck has not been too active out on the map with poking around all that much now.
He's trying a little bit, but I mean, like you said, with Winter's vision, he's really got a good idea of what's coming and when.
Yeah, this creep is pretty much covering the entire left side of the map, so really not even a Warp Prism can get in undetected, though he is going to be warping in 4 Zealots and beginning to move in on the right side. So Winter is going to have to pull back a few units. He does have 2 Hydralisks and a Roach left in his base here to protect against that, which should be enough. Puck beginning to force an engagement here up on the right, just letting Winter know he's there, it looks like. But Winter's got his number here pretty well on the poke attempts.
Yep, so those Vipers are building energy off some Spore Crawlers, and it looks like Puck's gearing up to do 2 hits at once. 2 Zealots are moving towards the 5th base, while there is that Warp Prism ready to drop in the main at any moment.
Yeah, I think Puck is waiting to see what Winter's reaction is here to these 2 Zealots. If he pulls a lot of his army in, he may move in over on the left side. The 4 Zealots have been dropped in the main base. Not a whole lot of damage is going to go down. Maybe 1 Roach going to be lost and a weakened Hydralisk, but now Puck going to be moving in towards the center of the map, taking out some of this creep here, which is actually really important. But Winter has been doing really good this game with getting optimal position for these engagements. Oh, nice yank there on the Mothership Core, so that is going to go down for Winter. That is a definite win. Those time warps would be pretty brutal against the ground army of Winter.
So Templar are on the field. They do have Storm. They're ready to go. And we do have a Dark Shrine in production.
+3 range attack coming in now for Winter as Puck begins to move up into the 4th base. There are, looks like 3 sentries here with full energy as the Templar are coming in on the left side. Nice feedback there on the Vipers, so not much will be done for those. Colossus absolutely melting the army of Winter right now.
In the meantime, there are a handful of Zealots working on that 5th base. They are going to succeed in getting that down, so Puck really doing some work here on Winter's army, pulling him apart in many directions.
Yeah, Puck definitely getting done what he wants to. He's got the number of Zealots here that have taken out the 5th base, now continuing to move up after not really losing much from that last engagement, up towards the 3rd of Winter. And Winter has 186 supply, but he doesn't really have a really large army assembled in one place. It's just kind of coming out of all of his bases right now. So he's not really going to be able to get this together to make a good defensive push.
No, I mean, he made 47 Roaches after losing his army, and they're trying to move up, but wow, like, he's just not had good positioning. He is able to get a Colossi down, but I mean, the Blink is really saving a lot of the Stalkers, and the Colossus are just melting these Roaches. 13 more Roaches in production. Winter just throwing his entire economy behind this, so there's the GG.
Yep, that was a great game there from both players. I mean, I think Winter just didn't really get the higher tech army that he wanted. I mean, he definitely got the Vipers, but Puck was ready with the feedbacks from the Templar. I mean, that was really clutch in that instance, because if he would have gotten 2 or even 3 of those Colossus yanked into the main army there of Winter, they would have been not a factor in that last stand with all those Roaches.
Yeah, you know, and he just wasn't able to get it off. And, you know, potentially if he had those Vipers during that first engagement, then that may have gone better for him. But, you know, you got to pull the trigger when you want to pull the trigger. Yep. And, you know, he had the +2 upgrade, and he didn't want to wait too long before the Colossus number get too out of control. But there were already 3 on the map, I think, at that point. So really just kind of having a hard time breaking into that army once Puck got into his stride.
Yep. It was really, you know, Winter does have a very methodical play, and it's really cool to see that, because a lot of people kind of see him as just like a, you know, educational streamer, but he, you know, especially he does have a lot of abilities here, and Absolutely. We've seen it this weekend. He's been, you know, all the years we've done Youmacon, he's been out here every year, and I think he's in his top form of the last 3 years, I would say.
Yeah, he's playing really well, and he's demonstrating it in that game. Didn't go his way, you know, and I think that Puck, you know, doing a very good job of pulling him in many different directions and kind of sending things in ways that Winter's having a hard time dealing with. You know, like he sent enough Zealots to really deal with that 5th base as the main army's pushing in. You know, really denying at critical points for Winter.
Yeah. And I think you know, everyone's well aware that Puck is the favorite by a pretty heavy margin coming in here. But Winter making a pretty good stand again. Waiting for a map pick from Winter. We are on the winners semifinal of Puck versus Winter. We just completed game number 1. Game 2 will be incoming here. It looks like Bridgehead is the map choice. So